unemployment rate of 8%. But before the 2024 election, President Akufo-Addo left behind 14.7% unemployment rate. How dare you say that you left behind a better economy? Again, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, Mr. Speaker, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, close to 2 million Ghanaian youth were left in the NEET bracket. And when we talk about NEET, we're talking about no education, no employment, no training, and then all that. You left 2 million Ghanaian youth in that bracket, and that is why on December 7th, they voted you out. But Mr. Speaker, President Mahama did not only give us the picture of the economy that he inherited, but he also was so generous to the good people of Ghana by giving us a comprehensive plan for addressing the challenges as he met them. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama outlined a number of policy initiatives, but I want to begin with what I call his bold plans for proper governance. Mr. Speaker, for the last 8 years under the NPP government, we saw the bastardization of state institutions. Even independent state institutions were bastardized with partisanship. Even the very respected institutions were bastardized by the NPP, be it security and even critics. And according to a survey, 7 out of 10 Ghanaians even lost confidence in the judiciary. That is the kind of country that they left behind. But President Mahama announced comprehensive plans to address the challenges. He started. And you're talking about institutions, even the Electoral Commission. We were in this country when your government, your former President Akufo-Addo, appointed a card-bearing communicator of the NPP as one of the Electoral Commissioners. And so you mismanaged this country, and we all saw the kind of legacies that you left. If in 2 months you are already lamenting, crying all over the place, you have a long way to go, because this is just 2 months of 16 years plus of opposition.
Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
I want you to join me to Parliament House and see how the first timers are shocking the minority on the other hand during parliamentary debates. And it's nobody but Edem Agbana and the MP for where Honorable Chekpo, how they shock the minority by speaking to facts and figures on the floor of Parliament. Without much ado, I would like you to join me listening to what they said and how they debated them. This station still remains PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel for more videos. Turn the notification bell on so that you'll be notified duly as well. Thank you.
Hey. No, I haven't. Let me go to Eric Edem. Agbana. Thank you, my lady. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the motion before the House, which is to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic, for complying with Article 67 of the 1992 Constitution by delivering to this House the message of the State of the Nation's address. Let me also acknowledge His Excellency, the President, for giving us a true picture of the state as he met it. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, the President was expected to give us an update. He was expected to give us the true picture of the economy as he met it, and he did just that. I am surprised that our friends from the minority today are all claiming that Mr. President only lamented and did not give a true State of the Nation address. They are actually sending an invitation to His Excellency the President that if you are a medical doctor who performs a meticulous diagnosis on a patient and you report the accurate findings of your diagnosis, it means you are lamenting. The economy that President Mahama inherited, the economy that the NPP left behind, is actually the picture that President Mahama painted. And for some of us, we even believe that President Mahama was too modest in telling the people of Ghana the actual state of the economy that he inherited. Mr. Speaker, let's move into the issues of the economy. Mr. Speaker, this same economy that the NPP members and members of the minority want us to believe was a good economy. Indeed, the president himself, former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, indeed admitted that he was leaving behind a difficult economy. He said that in August 2023 when he said he knew he was leaving behind a difficult economy, but he expected a new leader to take us out of the challenges. If there was no challenge, why did the president then make such statement? Again, we were in this country, Mr. Speaker, when 98 conscious, courageous members of the then minority, of the then majority, and it is interesting that the 98 number at the time is far bigger than the current number that they have before this chamber. Those 98 members of the majority then took to the media, wrote a petition, asked that the Minister of Finance at the time be sacked. And the argument they made at the time was that the Minister for Finance had mismanaged the economy and that the economic situation at the time was not too good, for which reason they were demanding his dismissal. And so it is surprising, and I am flabbergasted that today this same minority will stand here to speak and defend the records of the economy that they wanted the finance minister sacked for. Mr. Speaker, it is important for us to understand that when you are analyzing the economy, it is not rocket science. There are some basic things that basic facts, basic data available to everybody. But one of the key issues when it comes to the strength of the economy is the issue of how the growth rate really translates to the quality of life of the ordinary Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, before 2024 elections, the World Bank in their reports, which spoke about inflation, stated that 850,000 Ghanaians were pushed into the poverty line because of high inflation. That is the kind of economy that you left behind. That over 850,000 people were pushed below the poverty line. And you tell us that you left behind a strong economy? Please, the fact is there, the data is there, and it speaks for itself. Mr. Speaker, again, unemployment or the employment rate is a key indicator of economic growth. President Mahama left behind unemployment rate of 8%. But before the 2024 election, President Akufo-Addo left behind 14.7% unemployment rate. How dare you say that you left behind a better economy? Again, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, Mr. Speaker, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, close to 2 million Ghanaian youth were left in the NEET bracket. And when we talk about NEET, we're talking about no education, no employment, no training, and then all that. You left 2 million Ghanaian youth in that bracket, and that is why on December 7th, they voted you out. But Mr. Speaker, President Mahama did not only give us the picture of the economy that he inherited, but he also was so generous to the good people of Ghana by giving us a comprehensive plan for addressing the challenges as he met them. Mr. Speaker, President Mahama outlined a number of policy initiatives, but I want to begin with what I call his bold plans for proper governance. Mr. Speaker, for the last 8 years under the NPP government, we saw the bastardization of state institutions. Even independent state institutions were bastardized with partisanship. Even the very respected institutions were bastardized by the NPP, be it security and even critics. And according to a survey, 7 out of 10 Ghanaians even lost confidence in the judiciary. That is the kind of country that they left behind. But President Mahama announced comprehensive plans to address the challenges. He started. And you are talking about institutions, even the Electoral Commission. We were in this country when your government, your former president Akufo-Addo, appointed a card-bearing communicator of the NPP as one of the electoral commissioners. And so you mismanaged this country, and we all saw the kind of legacies that you left. If in 2 months you are already lamenting, crying all over the place, you have a long way to go, because this is just 2 months of 16 years plus of opposition, and you're already feeling uncomfortable about the situation. Prepare for more, because you are going to remain in opposition for a long time. But Mr. Speaker, the plans that President Mahama announced for rescuing this country and bringing us out of the deep hole that the NPP plunged us into, it includes his program to ensure that we have 1 million coders. With the 1 million coders program, President Mahama and the NDC has decided that we will recruit and train 1 million young people across this country and equip them with digital skills in app development and all these other skills. Mr. Speaker, we all know that we are in the era of digital economy. And with the digital economy, with the 1 million coders that will be recruited and trained by President Mahama, it will help us solve the problem of unemployment and also help us to expand the economy. Number 2 is President Mahama's decision to ensure that 55,000 households benefit from the policy that they mock so much. But Mr. Speaker, isn't it interesting that from the very minute President Mahama finished his presentation, NPP minority kept telling us that all they saw in the document was lamentation. Then all of a sudden, contrary to the song that they have been singing, one of their members rose to his feet and he decided to criticize the quantity or the magnitude of the policies that have been announced. Why? One side says that we only had lamentation, another side says we had policy propositions, but the numbers that have been targeted are not enough. This speaks to the contradiction and the double standard of the minority as we speak on this issue. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I know my time, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, it is important for us to recognize that at the heart of all these policies on energy, agric, economy, and what have you, is leadership. President Mahama and the NDC have decided that as a government, we will run a very lean government. President Mahama has decided that we must put to proper use, the resources of this nation. I can assure Ghanaians that we will not see a government that will spend over 58 billion on a useless national cathedral project. We will not see a government that will invest in projects that will not inure to the benefit of the Ghanaian people. But we have a government that will invest in the productive sectors and give jobs to the young people of this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Let me now turn to Honorable Asafo. That's the last round of contributors.
Thank you.
What? Already five people have debated. No.
Mr. Speaker,
yes.
Respectfully, we know leaders will conclude the debate today, and the same leaders are at selection committee meeting. So we can't wait before they come. So we can continue with the debate. As soon as they enter, then we end that debate so that the two leaders will wind up. We have more than even a set of 10 people who want to contribute. So let's use this time to allow members to clear their throat. When the leaders come, we'll allow them to wind up. So they should produce as many as possible. We have about additional 15 people here.
Honorable members, Honorable Champon, you know, the beauty of the game is to lay your truths bare to everybody. At the pre-sitting meeting, we said 5-5. Then I'm coming, 5-5, then the leaders will conclude. Then later on, the minority pushed that we should make them 6-6. So it's the 6-6 that we've adopted. Then after the 6-6, the leaders will conclude. Now we've had 5-5. So that's why I'm saying we are taking the last round of. Honourable members, it is now the turn of. This time it's not a question of catching my eye. It's a question of what your leadership has presented to me. So it is now the turn of Honourable Thomas Worlanyo Tepo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As you rightly said, my leadership made me catch your eye on your desk. Thank you very much. And let me join my colleagues in thanking our Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, for coming to the House to deliver the State of the Nation's address. The best in 8 years. The best in 8 years. That gave hope. That gave hope to the youth on the streets of Ghana. And I'm particularly happy about the job creation message the President delivered. Mr. Speaker, unemployment has been a headache of our nation for some time now. As at now, as the President said, 2 million Ghanaian youth are unemployed. It means the previous government left us 2 million Ghanaian youth unemployed. And every year, from the Statistical Service, we have more than 100,000 youths that add up to the unemployment basket. Over the years, the previous government have created millions of jobs on paper. Millions of jobs on paper that we've never seen materialize. What they know to do best, Mr. Speaker, what they know to do best is to change names of employment instruments that have been created by NDC. One, NIP, National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, which was established by NDC. The name was just changed to NIP by this particular by the previous government. YEA was started by NDC, and the name was just changed. NAPCO, the most interesting thing about NAPCO was 2016, after MPP took over the realm of affairs. YEA had a model called Youth in Paid Internship. Mr. Speaker, this particular program is supposed to be a buffer for youth or national service personnel who have just graduated from their service. We give them employment for a number of years so that they can use that opportunity to look for a job. 2016, when MPP took over power, we had 10,000, because I work with YEA, we had 10,000 youth that were prepared for youth in paid internship. A letter came from the office of the Vice President. Those who are singing the song of this government terminating appointments of the youth should listen. A letter came from the office of the Vice President to YEA for all those youths who were employed to be withdrawn. To be withdrawn. I can prove it. And that time, the current CEO, the current General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party was the CEO of YEA. You can find out from him. They terminated the appointments of over 10,000 youths who were employed. And what they did was to create NAPCO. But because they were not the originators of the idea, today NAPCO has collapsed. A lot of youths have worked for months, they didn't pay them, and they intentionally collapsed NAPCO. This was what they did. President John Mahama said He didn't come here to lament. But the lamentation, you could see that it is from this side of the house. Opposition for 2 months, and they are lamenting more than anyone in this world. They are giving out brilliant ideas. Why didn't they implement those ideas 2 months ago? Mr. Speaker, President Mama came and gave hope to the youth. He made it clear to us. That youth in apprenticeship program is going to help the youth. It was in our manifesto. And I was surprised that my fellow youth stood up. This is just the first State of the Nation address. The budget is coming. Yes, it was in our manifesto. First year, we are going to train 10,000 people. First year, we are going to train 10,000 people. It doesn't mean that for the 4 years, we are going to train 10,000. No. Aside this, he said 1 million youths. 1 million youths in coding, ICT. You spoke about ICT. Accra Digital Center. We established that place before Bawumia became a vice president. Today you are touting achievement in ICT sector. Who laid the foundation? And you can't mention one thing that you did to lay the foundation for this ICT thing you've been talking about, the digitalization you've been talking about. Mr. Speaker, not only the coding, we spoke about the Okada business. You can see almost every constituency, the Okada business has come to stay. These youth whom you left unemployed, 2 million youth whom you left unemployed, have sat down and thought of how to create business for themselves. President Mama said, we are going to formalize that system. So that they can also benefit from. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable John Dako, please.
President John Mama said,
Honorable member,
if you are a man,
Honorable Worlanyo, please address me.
Mr. Speaker, President Mama said, we are going to formalize the Okada business. Because of that, even the chief executive of DVLA recently was in Rwanda to learn about how Rwanda did their own. That is a leader. Mr. Speaker, not that alone. We spoke about Nkukon Kete, which they use, sang song. Yes, youth in poultry, youth in agribusiness. This was what President Rawlings started. Youth in agribusiness. That is exactly what we are going to bring on board. Mr. Speaker, President Mama came here, gave hope to the people of Ghana, gave hope to the ordinary Ghanaian on the street, gave hope to the women, because the Women Bank is also coming to assist not only NDC women, including our friends at the other side, the women. It's a national project that will benefit all of you, your constituents. So you are supposed to applaud him instead of every day standing up as if they were coached that Mama came here to lament. President Mama did not come here to lament. He came here to give us hope that will affect everybody in this country. Yeah. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I would like to thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.
And to let the youth of this country know that the hope they voted for has arrived. The jobs are coming, the businesses are coming, monies are coming for their businesses.
Thank you so much.
Everybody will do well in this particular government. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. Honourable members, before I take, is Honourable Yusuf Mustafa here? No. So, honourable members, before I take the next person, kindly indulge me to acknowledge at the public gallery Akim, is it Akim or Ashim? Akim Asafo, RC Basic School. Akim Asafo, RC Basic School. Honorable members, what is this? But I'm surprised. So Akima Safo RC Basic School, they are being led by Samuel Kojokumi. I guess Samuel is a teacher, and the school is located at Ebuakwa South. Ebuakwa South. Is the honorable member around? I saw him this morning. Anyway, so honorable members, what? It doesn't call for this. So, honorable members, they are our children who have come all the way from Akim Asafo to witness what we do here. I think they are witnessing and monitoring what is going on, and I believe that will urge them and urge them to study hard, so that tomorrow they'll come and take over from their So I wish you well, study hard, and monitor what is going on, and enjoy Parliament. This is the center piece of democracy. So you are welcome once again, and I believe the honorable member, if he is not even here, his colleagues will take care of you. You are welcome. So now, let me listen to... Yes.
Speaker, respectfully, Honorable Yusuf had to go into another meeting for the Committee of Selectioners. And so, respectfully, we are asking Honorable Hassan Tampuli. Oh.
Honorable member, honorable members. Is it the case that you can decide no? That's not. I was going to ask him whether he has not debated since. You have not. Then let's hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to contribute to the message to thank His Excellency the President for performing his constitutional duty under Article 67 to give the nation on the state of the nation. Mr. Speaker, when Mr. President entered this chamber and started speaking, I saw one thing, that the President has opened another religious book, the Book of Lamentations, chapter 183, verse 4. Mr. Speaker, there is a parable of 3 envelopes by an exiting CEO for the succeeding CEO.
You see, the Reverend Minister is saying,
Mr. Speaker,
lamentation.
The Book of Lamentation, you have to Google it and you find it. Chapter 183, verse 4. Mr. Speaker, the parables says that the CEO, when he's leaving office, prepares 3 envelopes for his successor. It says that after a month, when there is pressure on you, open the first envelope, and then you find that it says, blame your predecessor. The second one, when there is pressure on you the next month, open the second envelope, and the second envelope says that reorganize. In other words, transfer people, sack people, and all of that. Mr. Speaker, the third envelope says that prepare 3 envelopes less than 2 months, we think that the president is already preparing his 3 envelopes. Because he has exhausted the 2 envelopes already. He has blamed his predecessor, and he has also done reorganization. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the reorganization was not to his government, but was to children and youth of the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, even more painful is the fact that, and I saw some people with disability who were affected by these revocations of their appointments. And I just felt, Mr. Speaker, this is what we say, no mercy for the people. Terminator 1 is terminating everybody, including the people with disability. Mr. Speaker, when they issued out the omnibus letter, they didn't even make any exemption for lactating mothers, for pregnant women, for people with disabilities, and for people who were coming from poor and needy background. They just said, collect everybody out. Mr. Speaker, in the education sector alone, we were being told by the GES, for instance, that they are short of teachers everywhere across the country, especially in the rural areas. GES has terminated the appointment point blank. Mr. Speaker, how do you feel the classrooms? How do you feel the classrooms? Now they beat the retreats. They beat the retreat, and they are saying now you should bring your appointment letter, bring your NSS certificate, bring your license certificate. Mr. Speaker, that's an afterthought. Mr. Speaker, the pressure that came from this house is what necessitated that beating of retreats. And we will continue to give you pressure to do the right thing. Mr. Speaker, the message, I will classify it as very uninspiring, dreary, unstimulating, dry, boring, and downright underwhelming. Mr. Speaker, you compare the message on the state of the nation to what had been done previously by His Excellency General Danko Akufo-Addo, both in substance and in form. It caught your attention from the beginning all the way to the end. Mr. Speaker, when Nana Addo Danko Akufo-Addo spoke in 2017, and Mr. Speaker, let me take you to official reports, 21st February 2017, column 1532. And Mr. Speaker, with your indulgence, I quote, it says, Mr. Speaker, certain incidents occurred during the transition period that are matters of concern to me, and they should be to every Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, he continued and ended and said that I condemn all such conducts, and I call on all political parties, especially the New Patriotic Party and the NDC, to ensure that that is the last time such undignified acts occur during periods of transition. Unquote. Mr. Speaker, now this is a leader who has empathy. This is a leader who has empathy. A leader who felt that he has to unite this nation. A leader who felt that wrong is wrong and right is right. Not a single line was spared by His Excellency to deal with this nauseating situation. Mr. Speaker, a very good example of some of these acts. 2 or 3 weeks ago, they went and took my car from the workshop. They took my vehicle and labeled it as an assembly vehicle. It took me to call the Northern Regional Minister to tell him to find out from the DVLA who owned that vehicle. Mr. Speaker, when some of these things happen, we don't talk because we are doing politics, but because when the tables turn, they might take your car. They might seize your vehicle. And by the special grace of God, inshallah, by 7th January 2029, we shall be sitting on the right side of the ticket. Mr. Speaker, when you listen to the President's message, there is a saying by a medical doctor or a surgeon who had gone to perform a surgery. When he came out of the theater, everybody asked him, Mr. Surgeon, how did it go? His response was that the surgery was successful, but the patient died. The surgery was successful, but the patient died. That is what they are telling us, Mr. Speaker. And that takes me straight to the issue of Dumso. Mr. Speaker, it is only under the NDC from 2011 to 2016 thereabout that Wikipedia found a new word into their vocabulary, which is Dumso. Mr. Speaker, we inherited a debt, a net debt of $2.4 billion as of December 2016. Mr. Speaker, that was not all. Specifically, Mr. Speaker, government paid $520 million energy sector debt in 2018. And in 2019, we paid $604 million. Mr. Speaker, in 2020, we paid $1 billion. Ultimately, Mr. Speaker, by the year 2023, we had paid $12.5 billion. Mr. Speaker, this was for power that we did not need but we were paying for due to capacity charges. Mr. Speaker, we need just about 3,500 megawatts. We signed agreements, ECG alone signed 43 power purchase agreements, and they were still in the process of signing 23 more when we took over. Mr. Speaker, these were power that we didn't need, but we were paying for.
Honorable, thank you.
Mr. Speaker, let me learn. Mr. Speaker, in 2015, if you recall, in this country, we were queuing at filling stations to buy fuel. Throughout the administration of another administrator, Mr. Speaker, go and check the records. I was chief executive of the National Petroleum Authority, so when I talk, you must listen. You must listen. I'm speaking with authority. And I'm speaking with all the integrity available to me. So listen to me. Mr. Speaker, in 2015, we were queuing to buy fuel in this country. Throughout the 8 years, nobody queued anywhere to buy fuel in this country. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you for staying tuned. PENDREAM TV really appreciate your time once again on the channel, and also say God bless you for the good work you are doing for us. And to all our cherished new members, we urge you to subscribe for more video, like and also share to other members on other platforms that you belong to, so that they'll also know what is going on around the globe. Thank you for doing that for us. God bless us all. Stay blessed and stay tuned for more. Thank you.
Dedi kama amena PENDREAM TV ase na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases. PENDREAM TV